We have the MLB playoffs is in a month. In 1 month, we have the playoffs starting. Um, you know, we all know what the bracket looks like. Nothing much really has changed much since we last talked about it. Um, Cubs are getting hot.
I
They're getting
mean,
hot. I like that. I
the
like to
Cubs
see
have
it.
a very favorable schedule going forward, and that plays well for them.
Yes.
Do I think they can catch the Brewers? That's the
No.
question.
That's the key. Well, that is the question.
I mean, because the Brewers have been playing middling baseball for about 20 games now, and the Cubs are kind of in the same boat. They had a really rough series against the Giants. I think if they would have taken 2 out of 3, and they're only down 3.5 right now instead of 5.5, I think they overtake the Brewers. But right now, I think it might just be a bit too insurmountable for them at this point.
if the Brew, if the now it would change everything if the Cubs end up sweeping the Braves. They sweep the Braves, and the Brewers lose the series to the Phillies.
I
Then there's
mean, the
some real
Brewers
topic
had
for
the game
discussion.
yesterday in their hands, and they fumbled it,
Yeah. Well, that's just the
and
Phillies.
that's
That's just the Phil. I said that's the Phillies. That's a really good baseball team. I said from August 15th through September 4th, the Brewers will have probably the toughest schedule in baseball. And
well,
that,
not only that, it's not that their schedule was super tough. It's the fact that they had to play all those games on no rest. They
yeah,
played 19 games in 18 days, and a lot of the starters weren't going deep into games either. Shelby Miller hurt his elbow yesterday out of the pen, so that's another pen arm that's gone for the Brewers. They added Craig Yoho back up to the big league roster, who's basically Devin Williams' changeup, but without any of the command that makes Devin Williams so filthy. Yoho has a lot of work to do. He's a really good AAA pitcher right now, but his big leagues skill set still leaves a lot to be desired in the limited time that we've seen him this year. However, this team, they finally get their rest day today, and they need the starters to start going deeper into games. We've actually gotten 6 innings from Freddie Peralta in like 4 of his last 5 starts. But guys like Jacob Mizorowski haven't been able to eat up innings like they're supposed to. Jose Quintana is inconsistent with eating up innings too. So this bullpen has been taxed and worked tirelessly over the last 19 games and 18-day stretch because the starters are only going 4 1/3, 5 innings. They need to be able to provide more time on the mound than that because they're working themselves into bad situations with counts. They're getting 2 guys on with 1 out, and then they have to work their way out of jams. And that leaves the bullpen. Trevor McGill is injured now too. He's on the IL for a little while. So this team on the offensive end are getting their bats back. Churio came back. Hoskins is on the way back soon. And they at least have that going for them. But they've had some tough losses over the last week or two where they definitely could have been wins.
yeah, could have been. Yeah. Um, yeah, that's just the way the nature of baseball works. I mean, you also got the Padres at the end of the month, and then you got the Reds again at the end of the month, and then you got the Rangers as well. So
Yeah.
it's going to
I
be a
mean,
tough September, but
I will say that I think the heart, like once this Philly series is over, the true heart of like the
yeah,
toughest part of their schedule is gone. Because you
yep,
got the Cubs for all those games. You got out of it. You lost 3 out of 5, but you took 2 out of 5. The Cubs only gained 1 game in the division there, which is okay. Like at the end of the day, the Cubs I think consider it a successful series because they won 3, and the Brewers all they wanted to do was get out of Wrigley with 2. And I think both teams came out of that at least somewhat happy with how they did. Then there were a lot of other tough games in there. Cincinnati on the road is never easy just because Great American Ballpark can get pretty rowdy sometimes. They had the Mets, I think, at the start of that stretch, which even if the Mets are cold, there's still a lot of talent on that team that can turn it on at any point.
yeah,
And
and then speaking of the Mets, they won last night. Juan Soto had what I think his third career grand slam of his career.
I
Uh,
mean, the Mets are getting hot again. That's all I have to say. The
yeah.
concern with the Mets, though, is the pitching. The bats have been on fire as of late, but the pitching has left a lot to be desired this season.
So with that, you got the same playoff picture didn't really change at all. Still the same the last time we talked about it, especially, but it did change on the. It only changed a little bit on the AL side, the Tigers overtook the best record in the AL by a half game over the Blue Jays, and the Yankees are now back at the top of the um they're back at the top of the AL wild card by a full game over the Red Sox.
I mean, the Yankees are getting it back together at the right time. That's all I have to say about that.
Yeah.
I
So
mean, is it a little too early? We don't know yet because it's so hard to predict October baseball. We saw the Dodgers, one of the best regular season teams of all time, get swept in a wild card series 3-0 by the Arizona Diamondbacks 2 years ago. And I think that about sums up predicting playoff baseball in a nutshell.
the Mariners are hanging on there. The Mariners are hanging on, but uh, they have
Seattle
a
on
game and a half.
paper,
So
Seattle on paper is a very good team.
yeah.
Seattle's results, I think, are a little below what the talent should be able to provide for them.
Well, their pitching hasn't really looked up to par. I mean,
Well,
they've
that's what
given
I'm
up.
saying. The pitching hasn't been as good as I think it probably,
Should
not
have
that it
been.
should be, but
Yeah, it should be. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, they were a lot better on the mound last year. The bats have improved a lot this year. Cal Raleigh is a huge reason for that, obviously, but
The
I
the
think the
pitching has
pitching just
stepped
needs to
back.
be a little bit better for them.
They have a
And
plus
if
17 run differential. That's not good, especially for how good of a pitching staff that they have. Should at least
yeah,
be in the 50s and 60s.
if because in past years, if the bats would have just picked it up even to league average, they would have been a World Series contender. And this year, the bats are better than league average, and I don't know what's going on there. The pitching falls apart. Feels like they can only have one or the other up in Seattle. It's kind of unfortunate.
Yeah. The Dodgers still in the third place spot, um, third wild card spot. So they will
Do
have
them
to
and the
host the Padres.
Padres play anymore this year? Or are they done?
Um, you said Padres and Dodgers. Let's take a look. All right. I think that's it.
I feel like the MLB should try and schedule them for a series in September because their
Yeah, that's
records are
it for
usually pretty
them.
similar.
Yeah, they don't play the Dodgers anymore.
Yeah, the Dodgers play the Pirates tonight. Um,
The
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 Brewers play the Pirates this weekend, which is a series they need to win.
they're gonna have to face Skeens again.
Dude, I'm so what we faced Skeens 4 times this year. Every series we played against them, we faced Skeens.
The Cubs dodged
Oh
them
no,
though.
no, Skeens is pitching on Thursday.
Oh, he's pitching
He's pitching
Thursday.
against the Dodgers on Thursday.
Nice.
So it looks like we're probably gonna avoid him this time.
Well, hopefully, unless they hold him back and say, you know what, we'll give you an extra day of rest.
I hope not.
Hopefully, they don't do that.
Because like we cooked him last time, but we're not gonna cook him again. There's no way.
No,
We can't cook him 3 times in one season.
that's impossible.
How did the Cubs face him at all this year?
Did they face him twice? I think once or twice.
He's someone I wouldn't mind getting out of our division. I will say that.
Oh, I agree. I think.
I mean, he's a lot of fun to watch. Don't get me wrong, but man, I hate facing against him.
Oh yeah, I agree. 100-mile-an-hour fastball will definitely do that to you. Hopefully, he comes to the Cubs at some point, but
As
that's
long
neither
as you
here nor
can
there.
command it.
Yeah, there's neither here nor there though.